Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. It's just myself and Reese today. We recently went to the Arnolds UK Expo and Pro Show. If you want to hear our thoughts on that, please go and watch the previous video, or one of the previous videos, where we did like a review on it. We just did like a Zoom call, and we're going to be doing that more often with shows throughout the season, so we can get like quick updates out to you guys.
We actually got a comment, did you see?
No.
We got a comment saying, like, really appreciate this, like, show review, guys. Means a lot. Keep them coming.
I think, cool. I think for the Arnolds, like I said on the actual video, loads of people do it.
Yeah.
But I think for like UKDFBA, PCA, WMBF, BMBF, FitX, like no one does it. So I think that'll be really good. So yeah.
And, like, we were literally at pretty much every show last year.
Yeah,
like,
we were at loads.
End,
so we'll be able to, like, on a Monday, we'll probably record one.
Yeah.
After a weekend of shows, go through the shows from the weekend, go through the results, and then upload it on like a Tuesday morning, something like that. So it's pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
But anyway, today's just going to be a standard like Q&A catch-up episode. I've got a little game I want to play. Do you want to play the game?
Yeah, you haven't told me what this is.
So basically, I just thought what would be quite cool for us to do would be, because obviously we were at the Arnolds, we saw all the people in person that were just from Men's Open. We're going to create the best bodybuilder we can from those seven competitors.
You're only allowed one per.
We're only allowed one body part per body part, and the 7 body parts are hams and glutes as one.
You've done some homework, mate. I'm impressed.
Quads. Wait,
are you taking the monetized?
I carry this.
Are these monetized? Are you taking the money? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I don't think they are. Hams and glutes, quads, chest, back, delts, arms, midsection. So they're the 7.
I was going to make a joke, but I won't say it.
Okay, do you want to do it after?
Yeah, I'll do it after.
Remember.
Yeah,
okay.
I remember.
So, we've got 7 people. I think we should start from 7th. I think the best way to do it is like choose the worst competitor's best body part and then see if there's anyone else better. So like Antoine was awful.
Yeah, he was very bad.
I don't think what would he we have to choose something for him.
Delts.
Were his delts that impressive?
His chest is weak, midsection's really bad.
Yeah, his arms weren't great.
Yeah.
I'm getting him up now.
His quads are good when he's actually lean, but like his back, he's structurally quite narrow. Antoine's a good dude, but he just didn't look the best, did he? So
you can be a good dude all you want.
No, but he looked really good. Like he looked good at the Ohio show, and then he just looked. I saw someone comment saying he rebounded like pretty hard, so I think he just probably binged and then just didn't have the time to actually like get off everything.
To be fair, his delts.
Yeah, he looks good there, but he doesn't.
He didn't look like that.
That was like, you know, when you take a photo, Finn's just got up a photo of him, and it's like when you take a photo and it like auto filters it, and it's like, oh, I'm peeled. And it's like, yeah.
No, but I mean, in terms of like actual size, like his quads, he's got no detail up to his hips.
Yeah, let's say his delts. I think delts was probably a good assumption there. So delts from Antoine, then Mo Shaban.
This is an easy one.
Do you reckon?
Oh, mate. Yeah, his quads were a joke. I know you were saying it's because his calves were so bad, but his quads were still ridiculous.
If we were to do worst body parts, Antoine's quads, Mo Shaban's calves. Mo Shaban has legitimately the worst calves I think I've ever seen on an open pro bodybuilding stage for a guy who's actually like pretty decent. They were so small. Like it was so strange. It almost took away from how like good his legs were, because his legs just bubbled.
Think they were and the thing is that, again, obviously calves are judged to an extent, but they're the least judged body part by an absolute mile.
I just think like when you're noticing as a spectator your calves are like I don't view people critically like enough, because I'm not a judge. I don't look at people and
you're
think,
probably
if I'm drawn to a body part because it's downsized, that's a concern. So therefore, mate, considering you're an IFBB pro and you're placing 6th,
but when you compare him to everyone else, mate, they're not actually that bad. Like looking at this now, they're not that different from James's. They're not that different from John's. They're down from Samson's.
Yeah,
but they're not as bad as you made out. It's just I think it's partly the other way around. I think because his quads were that good, it made his calves look horrendous.
Okay.
So his quads, because they were ridiculous.
Okay, 5th, James.
Yeah.
Arms.
Yeah, his arms. His arms were
but his arms were like almost, we've said
they were too full.
Way too full. So yeah, James Hollingshead's arms. I think, that's probably the one for James.
4th was John.
And
I think his glutes and hams were pretty dug out.
His hams I wouldn't have, because his adductors.
Yeah, but we're having hams and glutes.
Oh, hams and glutes. Okay. Yeah. I'd probably say so. What's his chest like? John's chest okay? It's Hattie's chest, surely. Or midsection.
I was thinking midsection.
Samson's chest was full up. Yeah.
Chest, Hattie's midsection.
So John's...
But then I also think midsection for Haddie, like, that's almost
so boring, isn't it? But it is good.
For the best, like, it's a bit shit.
Who was 3rd? So,
Akeem.
So what would Akeem's be? Back.
Akeem's
feel
back
like
was
we've
ridiculous.
done a good job there. Mate, we've smashed that, I think.
Yeah.
So,
right. So
fourth,
we'll go John.
glutes and hams.
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
Back Akeem.
Back Akeem.
Midsection
chest.
Hadi.
Yeah, and then your chest Samson.
Chest
And then
Samson. But yeah, I think that's a decent bodybuilder. If we were to do calves, because we've not done calves, if we were to do calves,
who had the best calves?
probably
Samson?
Hadi or Samson.
Yeah.
Is there any other body part we've missed? Adductors? Hadi or Samson?
Hadi, yeah.
Akeem, pretty good, but
Yeah.
that's because we were comparing him to John, and John
Yeah.
wasn't very good. Otherwise, you got like rear delts.
The calves was that bikini girl.
What about the iliac lats?
Yeah, true. Who's been doing their single arm thoracic
Pull arounds.
Yeah, pull around.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. So how's your week been away from the Arnolds, mate? It's been a good weekend, hasn't it? Been a good week.
Yeah. We didn't, obviously, on the Arnolds review, we didn't talk about the whole weekend, did we? So on Saturday, we went to the Arnolds. We trained at Apollo Gym in Coventry. First time I've ever been. We did legs. It was actually really good. Ran the Atlantis pendulum and then the Jim Lecco hip press. Both really nice, especially the pendulum. I've not used that Atlantis pendulum in years, and I actually really got on with it, so I'm going to keep it in. And then went to the show. And then Sunday, we went to the Man United Liverpool FA Cup quarter final, which was the best football game I've ever witnessed in my life, in person.
Yeah.
But even like, it was one of the best games. If you were to watch that on TV, you'd be like, that's one of the best games I've seen. Like, it was
really
ridiculous.
Good. Yeah, very good game.
Yeah, like I've said this a few times to a few clients, but like, after the game, I said to Reese, like, how much would you be happy to have spent?
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't, like, if we had that experience now and now you had to pay for it, like, what would you spend? And we both said, like, 500 quid, like,
tenner.
Yeah,
I'm a Liverpool fan, guys. So.
Yeah, but
I know it was a wicked. You can take the result away from it and think like it was a good game.
Even
like,
if United lost, it would have been still a good game.
Yeah.
Like, I was saying that I had 2 Liverpool fans check in today. One of them didn't mention it at all, Ed. Yeah. I mean, Millie's boyfriend. Yeah. And then, to be fair, he sent me, when I sent him his check-in, I didn't even go into it. Like, you know what I'm like. I'm not the one, I'm not going to be like, oh, like, grow up, mate. Like, I literally was like, oh, I noticed you didn't mention the football, mate. Yeah. But yeah, then he sent me the screenshot of 7-0. He was like, thanks for the check-in. And then Brandon, who actually was there in the stand, in the Liverpool stand. Okay. He just messaged me and was like, just don't mention the result. And then I was like, I chatted about it.
I know that you could say it to me and I'd just be like, sound.
Yeah. You know, obviously he's joking.
I know, don't mention the result.
Yeah,
it's not gonna,
he's sound as well. He's one of those fans who, like, I think when Liverpool did beat us 7-0, he didn't like go, oh, he's just like, fucking hell, mate, like, you struggled, didn't you? It's like, yeah. But like, we're not kids anymore. We're not 14 and like, oh, my team's beat yours.
I remember when Liverpool played United and United won, and like my best mates at the time, Ben and Ilias, they're brothers, so they're both older than me. They literally came around. I think I've told you this before. Yeah. They came around, knocked on my door, and they were like, and started laughing at me. And I'm not joking. I was like 8 years old. I lost my head. Yeah. I like slammed that door, and I was like, "Fuck off!" Yeah. I literally was like, I was fuming. I lost my head.
Have you ever cried over football?
I know you have. I don't think. No, I think I've cried in like an emotional way, but not through like sadness. Through like for example, I'll be honest, and this sounds a bit cringy, but when we went to the first game after Klopp announced he was going, he did his fist bumps. And I had like a tear in my eye, and I was like, he's going. It was the Chelsea game, yeah. He literally like fist bumped the crowd, and he was like, did it like where I was. And I looked at him, I was like,
to me.
They did it to me.
That was to me, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, yes, Klopp. And I was like, don't go, please. No, I was just like, oh shit.
You could turn around to your mum. I think he did that to me.
Yeah, he did that to me. That was definitely to me. And then I just tears down my eyes. It's like, you did it to me. So yeah, no, I've done it that, but I've never like over a result like had. I don't think I've ever cried.
I've cried
I know
twice.
Yeah.
Once was when Germany beat England in the World Cup and they shouldn't have done. Yeah, that was like, I cried because I was like, that went in and I felt like it was such injustice. I was fuming.
Yeah, you've been robbed.
Yeah,
not England.
Me. Yeah. And then I cried when Scunthorpe lost 3-2 to Luton at the time in the Johnston's Paint Trophy. Do you remember that? So that,
I do remember. Yeah,
that's like, it's the league trophy now, not the Carling Cup.
No.
I can't remember what it's called now. Football League Trophy.
It's the one below, isn't it?
It was in that.
You never hear about that anymore. Is that even still
it's
going?
still going, yeah. But it was the day before I was going on holiday, so I couldn't go. But that was the same season that we went to Wembley. We went to Wembley twice that season, Scunny. Yeah. And the second one was when they beat Millwall.
Okay.
And I was at that one, so made up for it.
Yeah.
That was class.
Yeah. No, fair enough. So, yeah, no crying over football. It was a good game.
It was
And
really
it was a good day. Yeah, it was a really good day. And then since, what do we do? So I trained on Friday. I trained Ultimate Fitness. So that's like the mecca of gyms in the Birmingham region. Used to be. I was actually saying this to a few clients.
Everybody went to Dino's.
Yeah, I knew that, but it's funny because I feel like Dino's gym has I've always heard about Dino's gym. But now it's a lot of people are it's a bit more popular, but it's always been popular.
Yeah.
I remember being told about Dino's in 2015.
I think people
16,
went
15.
with the idea that it wouldn't be as busy, and then that meant that it ended up being more busy.
Yeah, but Dino, I've known of Dino for years now, but I feel like it's never been when there's an event on, people go to Dino's gym. It's usually you see Andrew Jacked in Ultimate Fitness. I remember in 2022, we trained and then Andrew Jacked was there. I remember Tom Taylor was there, and he held the door open and he said, "That's Andrew Jacked," and I was he was "Thank you, Mr. Jacked," or something.
Who said
Tom
that?
Taylor. And I just laughed and I just went, "You're right, mate."
That's his actual surname.
Yeah, he said something like that. He held the door open for him and he was like, "After you, mate." And I was just oh, sound like he turned out he won the Arnolds, so I should have held the door open for him.
Good. But to be fair, everyone was raving about him, weren't they? He was good, but I don't think he was as good as everybody made out.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I think it was still a good battle. So I trained at Ultimate Fitness on Friday. It was decent. It was good. And then Saturday, like I said, Apollo, and then it was. The last few days it's been normal, really. Been back into routine. I trained with Storm today, so there'll be a video coming out of that. And then you trained with Jacob, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I trained with Jacob Chamberlain. Shout out to Jacob. He's pale as a ghost, mate, when he was posing.
Really?
Yeah, but he knows that. He needs to tell.
Yeah.
But no, he's actually looking really good. He's made a lot of progress. I've coached him for a year now, so there'll be a post coming up soon. It was 1 year check-in last week. So I messaged him. I was like, "Mate, send me your favourite photos from recently versus your least favourite from when we started, and we'll do a post."
Send me the worst photos.
I was send me one from 10 years ago, and I'll pretend it was a year ago. Send me one as a fetus, and I'll put it as last year. 1 year progress. But yeah, he's a good lad. Is Jacob, trains well. I think he might potentially be jumping in on the weekend. But I've got Ben. So Ben Prythurch, he's coming up from Wales to train. And obviously I train with Owen on a Saturday anyway. So I did say to Jacob, I was it might be a bit busy. Yeah. But yeah, all good. Happy with where we're at. Everything's going well. A lot of clients now sort of approaching that sub 10 weeks out mark for the first show of the season. Earlier shows are 10, 11.
How many do you have doing that show?
I think I've got 4.
Yeah, I've got 2. I've got 2 for those those block of 3 shows.
Oh, I've got quite a few. Well, actually, yeah. They're all doing similar. So
yeah, that's what I mean. For those first 3 shows,
Ben,
the first
Conran,
3 night shows.
George, Sonny.
Yeah.
Hope I'm not forgetting anybody. I've got at least 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's getting exciting. Speaking of people competing, literally got Rio's photos there.
Okay.
Rio tagged me in a post, and I'm just resharing it now to my story. Sorry guys, I shouldn't be doing
that. Mate, you're on a podcast on your phone, just going through stories.
Well, I was actually going to get the questions up, because I thought, we've had a quick update there. It's also Tuesday night. We don't usually film on a Tuesday night. Do you know why we're filming tonight? Because
you're getting your hair re-dyed.
I am. I'm getting it redone tomorrow. Shannon said to me yesterday, I was doing work last night, and she comes up to me and she goes, "You getting your hair cut before getting it done?" And I was like, "When am I getting it done again?" She kind of just plans that stuff, and she was like, "Wednesday." And I was like, "Well, it's Monday night." I was like, "I'm doing the podcast tomorrow night." I was like, No then. And I was like, "When would I have a chance to get my hair cut?" And she was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just thought I'd ask." I was like, "No, I'm not." So yeah, it's going to be. I might just keep it a little bit longer on top anyway. But I'm gonna get I think I'm gonna get rather than it being blonder tints, I'm gonna get grey, a silvery grey.
Okay. You're becoming slightly more concerning week on week.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time Finn gets his hair retouched up, it's becoming more.
I've also got a butt
Penny,
plug in right now.
Yeah, more like Penny Kelly. You're gonna go for the
I'm
right
actually
highlights.
I'm trying to replicate my mum's
That's
hair.
what they say, isn't it? You're born and then you ask your spies just to be with your mum or someone like that.
Yeah,
that's what I was told.
You do sleep with your mum.
Yeah, that's why I sleep.
That's you googling it. Is is it normal?
Is it normal to fantasize about my mum?
There's a guy, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a psychologist whose whole career has been built on that theory.
Really?
Yeah. I couldn't tell you his name.
I'll pay him. I'll sign up for that. Right. So, are we getting some questions?
Yeah.
Cool. Sound. So, we actually got some decent ones. I don't usually read through them, but I had just a flick through.
I haven't checked mine yet.
Yeah, and I actually had a few that were pretty good. So, first one. Could you give a rough guide on how to go about tanning / posing trunks pre-competition?
I'll tell you what. I can get my competitor starter pack up right now if you want. I've got it right here. What did they ask about?
Like basically pre-show tan routine, like what would you do? Posing trunks, pre-competition, and tanning. So like I don't really know about the posing trunks. Like posing trunks,
all I would say is just make sure you order them early.
Yeah.
Because like
I'm gonna get sponsored apparently.
By Iron Eagle?
No. I should know off the top of my head.
Time to Shine.
Yeah, Time to Shine, yeah. Sanaya's mentioned that she wants to, like, whenever I compete, she'll hook me up and then stuff like that. And I just send clients to them, talk to her. And to be fair, her posing thing was sound, like it was good. And it was quite cool. It was what I actually wanted, nothing too flashy. So she's sending me through, like, a blue one or a purple one. I'm like...
You're going to wear it now? Fat?
Not that fat, but my glutes are fat. But yeah, so I'm gonna be like, the thing is that like she'll send me one and I'll be like, can I have it like 18 sizes larger than when I actually ever use it on stage? Like imagine trying to put your posing thong on when you're like, what am I now? I'm like 50 pounds heavier. So it's like
it never looks right.
Yeah, it would just look. I just feel like, what the fuck?
It looks sound when you're in that stage where you're still looking pretty good. Maybe when
like
you're
on
like
a reversal,
20, 30 pounds up.
Yeah.
But
when it's like you are a completely different bodybuilder. I had no adductors. I had no quad sweep. I had no glutes. Like now it's like, okay, I've got a good amount of meat there. It just looks. It was just. I don't even think it would probably go over like my fucking quads. I'd literally have to stretch it. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Especially because my cock actually works now.
Yeah.
So that'd be one thing.
So yeah, get your trunks in enough time. Because Iron Eagle, they're sound. They'll send them in like within the week. Yeah. Iron Monkey, they literally take the piss. Like I've had clients and even myself order them, and like 12 weeks later, you've still not got them.
Is it iron everything? Like iron?
Yeah. Another iron, and then it's got to be some animal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can't be. Yeah. You can't sell posing trunks. Yeah, that's the law. So make sure you get them in time. I would generally recommend that you get a size smaller than you'd expect because you should be lean. So like for example, for pretty much all of my clients, natural guys, I'll say
extra small.
The small is the smallest you can get. I'll say get small. Like even you, like last time you competed, I'd been like get medium.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not going to be an extra large unless you're absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Get small unless you're really big. If you're pretty big, get medium. If you're massive, then you'll need large or extra large.
Yeah.
But probably the majority of people listening to this, I'd say, would be a small or a medium.
Yeah.
I'd get like the super pro cut or the best one that you can get. They look the most professional. You can get scrunch bum as well, which again look more professional.
Looks the most professional. Scrunch bum.
Yeah, scrunch bum, really professional name. But they do look the most professional. They're like the ones that are replicated to like what the pros would wear.
Yeah.
So that would be that in terms of trunks. I would also, like, to be fair, choose whatever you want, like in terms of the actual customization and the colour and the style and all of that, the sort of specific material.
Just make sure there's a hole above like where
your rear double glute spread.
Rear double glute spread. Just make sure by your arse.
You can see the full anus.
Yeah, we need to be able to see the full anus, guys. Yeah. There was a girl that Sanaya told me about in 2022 or whatever, and I got in trouble because I was like, "Where? Which one?" And I was like, "I hope she does it again." She was like, apparently she turned into a rear shot. She hit like a rear shot, and you could see like her actual like arsehole. Yeah. And Sanaya told me about it. She was like,
who was it?
And I was like, wait, is she still on stage? I was like, where, is she still up there? I was like, which one? Oh no, the one on the right. Oh, okay. Turn to the rear, ladies. Okay. So now I was like, Grace, are you right? I'm like, yeah. Just trying to see. Happens again. Oh no.
I'm just gonna go to the toilet. Right, where you go? I'm just going to
just go to the toilet, or then you see me run backstage.
Right. Oh, God. So that's that with the trunks.
Yeah. Tanning. Sort it out with the actual, let's say, like if you're going with a PCA, just do the PCA tan.
Yeah, I've literally put on here. It says, I recommend you use the tanning company that the given federation recommends.
Yeah, because it'll be based off location. Like Nicola A1 Tanning is wicked. She's lovely. Like a couple of days out, she is the perfect person you want to speak to.
Yeah, she's fast.
She makes everything really enjoyable. Relaxed. It's really relaxed. It's fun. You don't have any
Everyone
stress.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, no, and every person, the tan sits so well on them. But genuinely, her tan is good. Her tan is very good. So if it's in, let's say, Leicester or like the Midlands area, or potentially she's at a UKDFBA show, which she is the UKDFBA tanner, Nicola A1 Tanning would be the person we recommend.
Yeah, 100%.
But also, if you're doing it with a PCA and the show isn't in the Midlands and it's all over the place or whatever, like just get it through the PCA. They'll have literally pre-tanning the night before, then it will have like, let's say, layer 2 or like the second coat in the morning of the show itself, and they'll have time slots. You turn up. The only issue with PCA is you're pretty much just doing it with loads of people, so like you will end up, especially if you're a first timer, stood around pretty much like a fan when everyone's there like naked and the people potentially could be competing against. And if you're a first timer, most of you will be really nervous and you'll just be stood there with a cock on your sock. Sock on your cock, there we go. Or as a female, I think you're fully naked pretty much.
Stood there with a cock in your ass.
Yeah. I think as a female, you're fully naked. You just stood there, just looking around going, sup. So,
yeah, it is a little bit weird. But yeah, like, you can't really go wrong if you just go with the tanners that the Federation recommend. But, like, so everyone's in the same boat. But if you then have an amazing tan, you're going to stand out. For example, when Josh won the WNBF first timers, he didn't use the tanners, he used Nicola, and I was there backstage doing his tan, like topping it up, making sure his glaze was good, rolling his tan. For the overall, Josh's tan was ridiculous. Everyone else's had faded throughout the day. So yeah, like, if you can actually improve your tan throughout the day or keep on top of it throughout the day, make sure you're not rubbing it or like, wearing baggy clothes, not wearing socks, or wearing like loose socks, things like that, so it's not rubbing it off on your feet and things like that. Just look after it.
The best tan I've ever had was for the Fitex and PCA show, and that was first layer with Nicola. I thought for the Fitex was really good with the lighting, because I'm always very dark, my skin just soaks it up, and then I'm usually like pretty tanned before. But I got one layer, I then like travelled up the day, I then had a second coat, but literally was like the lightest second coat ever, because I said to the like Fitex girl, Fitex tan is really nice, and I said to her like, right, I've got a first layer, but like I look like I've got two always, like I always go too dark, because for the PCA first show, Nicola gave me 2 coats and I was way too dark, so like moving forward I'd only ever do one, and then a very very light top up coat the second day, and I had that, and then I basically washed that off, but not all of it off. I just like jumped in the shower, let water run over me, and then I had another top up coat for the following day because I had another show. And for both days I was like, my tan looked really good, like it was really good, my skin looked good. The
tan always looks really nice when you just rinse it, like you say, you don't scrub it.
I didn't.
So if you've had a tan, like the next day, if you just the next few days, if you're not like scrubbing it trying to get it off, like the tan looks really nice. But then also if you don't scrub it off the next day, it stays on for ages.
It was awful, because I had 3 days.
If you want to get it off, you need to get it off quick.
I had 3 days of the tan being on me, and like literally, so I had first layer, second layer, third layer, and then I didn't get it off till Sunday night from Friday morning. And I went away to Alicante on the Wednesday, and like I was getting asked when I was there, like obviously I was competition lean, but people were like, you competing, because I was that dark. And then when I like took my top off, I was like patchy on my elbow or my armpit, and all that sort of stuff. I had my toes, I had on my toes for like a month or whatever. But it was like, I remember like walking around in Spain, and I was like, this is very odd, because I'd take my top off and it would just look weird.
One of the things I hate the most is trying to scrub off your tan like when you're knackered after a long day at a show. Like you had a full day at a show, you come home and you think like, I'd literally just want to like wash my face and go to bed. Like I don't want to get in the shower, scrubbing for 20 minutes, then scrubbing with the towel for 10 minutes. It's like, it's
I actually
draining.
think on the Sunday, I actually do. Sinai had a shower when I finished prep. We went out for Anando's. She hadn't finished prep, so off-plan Nando's. No, Tom allowed her because she competed that day, and she jumped in the shower, and I literally said, I was like, I can't be asked. I've literally just done a whole weekend of competing. I was like, I'm gonna wash it tonight or tomorrow, and like I remember literally, because she was like, you're not even gonna jump in the shower. I was like, I'm just gonna go like this. I can't be fucked. Like I got changed, I got ready, I got into some nice clothes, but like I was like, I'm not.
I was so bad with like showering towards the end of prep, throughout a lot of the prep when I was fucked. Like
really,
mate, my showers were like 30 seconds, just hot water on. I had no energy. Like at that point in the evening, when I literally would be a zombie. Like I would literally get in the shower, stand there like this, and be like, and like. I didn't even think like I should probably properly wash. I might smell, or like this is a bit grim. I was literally just like, I didn't even think I'm that fucked. It was like nothing was there.
If you had a bath, do you reckon that would have changed it?
Probably, yeah, because I'd have been like relaxed. It would have been nice. But it's like get in the shower at the end of a long day, and it would literally be like, again, especially when I was doing like 20,000 steps and like I was just battered. This was when like. I honestly don't think that was the time when I didn't think I didn't realise, but I wasn't even speaking to Shannon because I wasn't even like realising. But it would be like I'd get in the shower, stand there, 10-20 seconds hot water, quick, get out, towel, walk from how close my bathroom is to my bed, walk to my bed,
How were you with other things like brushing your teeth?
I sound brush my teeth. I'd never neglect that.
Anything else that you thought you neglected? Like that was just like a normal bodily function, like
go for a shit if we didn't have shit.
No,
to be fair, my bowel movements sound because of Digest Max. I mean,
Digest Max is a game changer. In
can't say Digest Max.
What's
Digest
so, what, no, they call it Strom. What's the Strom one? Hydromax. So what would it be like? Digest Flow.
Digest Flow.
Digest Flow.
Bowel Flow.
Yeah, bowel flow. Bowel flow. Oh, the bowel flow guys. Research.
And the thing is, like, it wasn't like. Obviously, I would have if I was fucking stunk. I'd have been like, I need to quickly wash. But it would literally be where I'd just be really.
Oh, it's quick, the minimum. It's minimum amount of anything.
Yeah. Minimum effective volume.
Yeah, minimum effective shower volume.
Because we've got a lot of questions.
Are there any benefits of using dumbbells over machines?
Just doing your questions today, yeah.
If you want, yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Are there any benefits of using dumbbells over machines? Freedom at the wrist. That's one. Yeah. Resistance profile, for example, if a machine's like really challenging the short and you don't want that.
Being able to move to the plane that suits you. Yeah.
Sometimes people who have got really long limbs, like long arms, I find that they will sometimes benefit from a dumbbell press rather than a machine press, especially a machine press that's really hard in the short. Yeah. Like some of my really tall clients really struggle on like hammer strength kit or Atlantis kit because it's like when they're getting it fully short, the hands are almost touching. Yeah. So I'll be like, right, we're probably better off doing like a dumbbell press or even like a Smith press. So yeah, some benefits, but there's also a lot of benefits to using machines in terms of like external stability compared to dumbbells. Yeah. This is quite a good question. This is Charlie Watts. If you could ever have one flavoured whey, if you could only have one flavoured whey for the rest of your life, what flavour would it be?
Probably just chocolate. Or the thing is, I say that it's in previous off seasons before Conte came out of repair. The only one I'd ever go for is let's do chocolate. Conte. Yeah. Okay. Vanilla or salted caramel.
I'm going to say salted caramel. I think
really?
It's better. I love it.
I had it.
Vanilla's incredible.
Yeah, vanilla is good.
Caramel is very good.
Yeah, I don't know which one I prefer because they are very similar, but like I think salted caramel is a bit more sickly maybe than vanilla. I'd say.
Maybe a little bit sweeter.
I judge them off the least sweet but still good taste because, like for example, the chocolate is all right from repair. Like it's good.
Chocolate's good, but
it's a bit too. You know what it reminds me of? You know the CMP way, and I threw that up. Do you remember when I told you I was like I was taking Bear for a walk with my dog, and I had like my cream of rice meal, and I was like projectile vomiting while walking, and I was so like in my head I was like, why am I being sick? I wasn't like panicking. I was just literally like, throwing up while walking, and I'm like, why am I throwing up this way? And since then it's fucked me up. So whenever I have that sort of like chocolatey
I do like
taste,
the repair chocolate.
Yeah, I like it. It just tastes a bit.
If it was I actually think if it was a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
It might be my favourite.
What would be your favourite perform then? So
salted caramel would be repair.
I'd go vanilla. Right now, I'm preferring salted caramel, but I think if you were to ask me most of the time, I'd say vanilla.
Right, and then one perform for the rest of your life.
I'd say double chocolate. It's easy. Or the brownie batter, but I do find that gets sickly when my food gets high.
I would say the white chocolate and raspberry.
That's a bold shout.
Yeah, but it's not overly sweet. It's got a little bit. It's not actually that sickly because it's got a bit of a fruity taste. Like you know, for example, like just triple chocolate, I find can get quite sickly. But like you know, like if you have a chocolate cheesecake, I know you wouldn't. But let's say if you did, like
I have one every day.
Yeah, you probably do.
And I sit on it as well. Oh no, that's cake or cock.
Chocolate cheese cock.
I sit on cake and eat cock.
I can't remember which way around it is. Either way, I have cock and cheesecake every day
on my meal plan and
one cock plan. Plus a cheesecake.
Yes.
Hey mate, it's alright if I have cock on my meal plan.
Time for it now. See you later, guys.
Anyway, so like I think like if you have a cheesecake, if it's not got like a fruit that like takes away, it's like almost like a bit of a tangy taste.
Okay.
It makes it really sickly. Like I wouldn't want like a vanilla cheesecake or a caramel cheesecake or a chocolate cheesecake. Okay. Like I've tried them before and I don't like them, but like lemon or like raspberry because it's got like a sweet, like almost like a zesty taste.
Okay. Yeah.
So like the white chocolate and raspberry, like. It is nice, and it go well in oats. It goes well as a sludge.
What'll be your CMP?
What did I used to really like from CMP? The glazed donut one was very good.
Yeah. Okay. I thought the donut one. I got a donut one. It was shit.
Yeah, it was probably the other one.
The other one, yeah, it was naff. I got that in prep, and I was like,
the glazed donut one was good. The jammy one was just like strawberry, I think.
Yeah.
And then the other one was like caramel biscuit donut or something, and
that's what I got. I think.
Yeah, it was
biscuit donut. That was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Yeah. It was like supposed to be like Biscoff.
No. That's still like there's a tub upstairs. Anyone want it? I'll bring it
to be fair, I did used to like the chocolate Cereal milk from CMP. Good.
Yeah.
Right.
Any other ways?
No, we've got other questions.
Okay. Cool. You go, mate, because I did too.
Okay. Bench 1, start 1, sell 1. Van Dijk, Saliba, John Stones.
That's a disgraceful question. That is awful. Why is Virgil involved in that? Have Kanate. Kanate makes that way much more of a debate. Mate, Saliba and John Stones to Virgil. That's disgrace, mate.
You just think Virgil's ridiculous.
But, mate, that is, be honest, come on, use your eyes, man.
I don't
Saliba's
know.
class. I really like Saliba.
John Stones, I think John Stones is the best footballer out of all three.
No chance. Van
The
Dijk.
best footballer.
I don't think
Van
so.
Dijk could never play how John Stones plays for City.
But John Stones could never play like Virgil. So how does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm saying the best footballer.
What's football?
Van Dijk's the best defender.
I'd say if Virgil had the frame and stature of John Stones, he'd be better at doing what he needs to do.
No, I don't think he would.
You don't think?
I think John Stones is the best footballer. I think Virgil's the best defender, and I think Saliba's in the middle. I think he's the mix.
I think Saliba's just a very B-Tech Van Dijk, which is a compliment. I think that's a really good compliment.
Saliba's very good.
I think Saliba's class. I'd personally say Virgil, Saliba, John Stones.
I would say it depends on your system.
On potential, I think on actual, if you were to ask me if they all retired now, it would go Virgil, John Stones, Saliba. But I think Saliba will be class. I look at Saliba and think I have him sounds a bit of a bold shout, but I genuinely have him from what I've seen with him top 5, 10 CBs in the Prem of all time. And I mean that
in the long term he probably will be.
I even think now, I look at him and think I can't.
He's not old enough. He's not
No. But you say that he's not old or he's not done it for enough years. I can look at him and say he's better than Vidic. He's way better than Vidic. He's a lot better than Vidic. I don't need years to back that up. It's the same with
though he's not a better defender. He's a better footballer than Vidic. Most people are.
I think he's. Man, I don't think Vidic was a good defender.
He was.
I don't think recklessness.
Just not against Torres. He was good against everyone else.
No, I just think.
Right. So your answer is Van
Virgil,
Dijk,
Saliba, Stones.
John Stones. Mine is John Stones.
Shut up.
Mate, I love John Stones.
John Stones, and then sub on Virgil for an 85th minute corner.
No, if it was for United, let's say in how United play, it would be what you've said: Van Dijk, Saliba, John Stones.
Yeah.
Well, actually, probably it would be Saliba because of the age. I'd have him on the bench.
Yeah.
Jamie Jackson, if you could go back in time to any football game,
this week.
Which would you choose?
To experience the game? Any football game?
I'd go to the 1966 World Cup final.
Next, you wouldn't have a connection with those players. And the standard of football, you'd probably look at it and go, what am I watching?
Yeah, but I'd still have been there.
Imagine going back with a phone and you could watch Pele and you'd be like, this guy's a fraud. Yeah. He's not even that good. The standard's awful.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to have witnessed that.
The Maradona game against England, the handball and the run from the halfway line, that'd be ridiculous.
That 98?
No, not 98. No, that was Maradona's way before 98. It was Italian 90s, it was before, 82, 84.
It was when Lineker was playing.
Yeah, one of them, I'd say. That would be a good game. Any other massive games? World Cup final 2006, Zidane headbutt. I think that's a very kind of famous
I don't think the game was great, though.
The Man United, Bayern Munich, Ollie, Champions League, comeback, that'd be cool.
Man United, Liverpool last weekend.
Oh, mate, it's the easy answer. AC Milan, Liverpool.
That's
it. AC Milan, Liverpool, Champions League final. That's the best comeback.
That's what came to my head straight away.
Yeah. I originally thought Barcelona, Liverpool, but that was only a few years back. And that was a class
I'd probably go to the United Champions League, the year they won the treble.
Yeah, fair enough.
That'd be cool. Because also, I've not actually watched that much of that. So that'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Favourite gym in the UK, plus ones you want to visit?
Favourite gym in the UK at the minute? Ultraflex Derby.
I think that's a sound shout. I just like Derby gyms.
Ultraflex gyms are good, yeah.
Yeah, Ultraflex Derby, BB Modified, they're my two faves. That's probably why I would train there.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Gyms I'd want to visit.
I liked the JP Shed gym. I'm
going there next Friday. I was going to mention it to you, but you're away.
Yeah, I know, you did mention it.
Did I mention? Yeah. Okay.
JP Shed, really good. Obviously Rotherham is really good. Sorry, the hashtag Mecca.
Hashtag Mecca. Yeah, there we go.
Ones that I'd want to visit
in the UK.
Le Coach.
We said we need to go to there. I think other than that, there's not really any gyms that I'm like, I need to. Yeah, I need to go to that gym.
Maybe I've never been. Durham, I've not been.
I've been. I've never been to FLF.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. But my train's there.
Yemi trains there, can't go.
Yeah. Hope you're doing well, Yemi. We love you on the
You'd be
podcast. We should get Yemi. We need to get you on the podcast. That'd be good.
We should.
Yeah, that would actually be a very good podcast thing. That'd be
you two falling out.
Nah, we'd sit across the table. We'd just have some good banter. You know.
I'd have to be moderator.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yemi. Catch you on the invite soon.
Jack Ross Fit. If you could only eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would you go for?
It's simple, like chicken, rice, and like olive oil, probably. Like you get your fats, you got your carbs, you got your protein. That would be it would be the easiest. Like it's not nice.
No veg,
it's not.
no? You don't eat veg, do you?
I do eat veg. Yeah, I have plenty of lettuce and just more lettuce.
Not really veg, no. Salad.
Yeah. Have some onions.
Okay, I'd probably go.
I have peppers when I get a pan burrito every 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's my micronutrient intake's fine.
Yeah.
I'd probably go for.
I'm dying inside anyway. Who cares? Physically, I meant.
I'll tell you what. At the minute, I'd go for 5% beef mince.
Okay.
Rice.
Yeah.
Veg, mixed veg.
Okay. Best of luck trying to get fucking big, bro. You're like, all this veg is on the volume. You're not going to be able to get your food to it. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I forgot. 3,000 calories to start.
I'm on nearly 4,000 calories.
Nearly?
Actually.
Wow.
Yeah, 5% beef mince. Jasmine rice.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
I'm not like you. I don't put on 10 kilos as soon as I finish the diet.
Yeah, but I actually know how to grow muscle. I don't know, it's PDs.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen the new Tilda sticky rice?
Mate, it's not that new. It's been around for donkeys.
I don't think it has been. It's a new pack. I've definitely not seen it before.
It's been around a long time.
94 carb.
I know. It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
And it's cheap for some reason.
Yeah, it's cheap. It's a pound. It's a pound.
It's a pound compared to others. Yeah. But that's I have the actual sushi rice that you make in my rice cooker.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably that. So like jasmine rice or sushi rice, chicken breast, or probably 5% beef mince for now. But long term, if it was forever, it'd be chicken breast.
Yeah.
Veg. Yeah.
What would be
and a banana
like,
on the side.
Okay, let's say you're not excluding that. Let's say what would be the worst meal that you would be in your usual meal plan? Like, imagine trying to eat
shake.
What, just a shake every day?
Forever. The rest of it, that's all you're allowed.
Imagine, mate, you'd be so optimal time-wise.
Yeah,
you would be. You'd be flying.
shredded.
Yeah, you'd be imagine trying to bulk and be like, yeah, I've got to cut my whole calories about 4,000 calories, 5,000 calories just shakes. Oh, just all that'd be awful. I honestly think you would not have like an actual consistent poo. You would literally just be liquid. You'd be. I think it would go in and it would literally you'd feel it trickle down.
That'd be a good experiment, wouldn't it? Like.
That'd be a YouTube video. I had protein. I only had whey for 30 days. Yeah. And this is how many times I had diarrhea.
And I died.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Do you reckon it would be a food that you could just eat and it would actually like kill you?
No, imagine if there was only one food that you could have, one food source, not a meal, one food source for the rest of your life.
Well, and you've got to get those amount of calories in. Imagine like 5,000.
Just think about. I wouldn't even be thinking about the exact amount of calories. I'd just be thinking about where can I get a good amount of protein, carbs, maybe some fats, like quality fats. What would be one food that would do that? Like oats. It's not great for complete protein.
No.
Maybe a
lentil.
It's like a whey gainer.
Yeah. Yeah,
like a whey gainer shake.
That would be so bad.
Lentils, yeah, you're gonna get some protein.
Two scoops of like serious mass from serious mass.
That's all it would be.
From Optimum Nutrition. Yeah. Speaking of food, I've got a few food questions actually. What's the most amount of jam you have gone through in a week? Good question, that.
I don't have jam in my diet anymore.
No, I have 20 grams on a training day.
In the past, I would probably say
I've gone through stupid amounts if I was to look.
I think the most I've ever had will have been like maybe like 80 grams a day.
Yeah, I think I've had like 50 pre, 50 post.
Yeah,
and then
so that's not like, and that's only
that's
5
sessions.
Days,
yeah, so
500 grams.
Yeah, so 500 grams is like quite good.
Yeah, it's probably a tub. It's a decent amount, but it's not ridiculous, is it?
Yeah.
Favorite and least favorite thing about the Arnolds.
Okay, favorite thing. Let's start and be positive, guys. Bob Chicarello.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was like, who's that again?
Yeah,
the guy that does the
it was a good show.
Announcer.
Yeah, it was a good show.
I'd say
Ronnie came out and he was fucked up.
The best thing was, I would say, witnessing Haddy.
Yeah, Haddy was a joke. Yeah.
Samson was ridiculous as well, but like seeing Haddy,
it's different levels.
And then my least favourite thing would probably be the fan cam that they did.
Oh, that was awful. We didn't speak about this.
They did this fan cam thing. So like basically whenever they just needed a bit of a break within the show, they'd be like, right guys, fan cam, make sure you pose down and all this shit. And they basically like the cameras would pan to the fans in the crowd, and like it'd zoom in on people, and like anybody posing or taking their t-shirt off and posing, like they'd zoom in on them. And it was so cringy. Like, not many people wanted to do it, but then, like, once one person did it, like, if someone was near them, they were like, "Get my top off,"
and they all looked.
And it was like,
awful.
"What the fuck are you doing?" Like, even if they look good, it's still like, mate, like, you're here to watch the show. I get it. Obviously, it's a bit of fun, and the whole fan cam, they're asking you to do it. But like,
it was worse because like you literally saw like one person do it. And then, like, you randomly saw the guy behind.
That's the worst.
It's like, because you haven't even gone on your own and, like, okay, I'm going to just send it. It literally is like... The funny thing is, like, they've just gone and saw someone and then done it. But the funny thing is, like, there were probably, like, some kids in the audience. Not, like, kids, but, like, some
there
people...
were 2 little boys who did it,
that's cool. That's cute. Like, that's fun. Or, like, you know, if you've got, like, an old boy, like, let's say if Ab stuff, she would never. Yeah, but, like, my mum came and she watched it. Let's say if she just, like, hit, like,
stripped off and
then started getting naked in front of everyone. And I was like, that's my mum. Oh, I'm so proud. Oh, and I was just cry and go home, and I haven't spoke to her since, and she's kicked me out. Yeah, she's moved in with Bob Shakrala. Imagine every morning, "Hey Reese," you'd be like, "Oh, sound. Bob's still here. The nightmare carries on. My depression still exists." Bob. Imagine fan can. Starts going around, puts me on his Instagram.
He's got you on his Snapchat.
Yeah, it just shows me some pictures and videos from last night. I'm like, cheers for that. That's his fan cam on his phone.
Right,
wank cam. Jesus Christ. Right, highest total amount of anabolics a client has came to you on. Good question. Have you had any clients come to you with anabolics?
Yeah,
was anything
they've not got to the point where
they're pushing.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything excessive, which is quite nice, really.
Yeah, for me. Like, not for me, like, for what I ran. I think I had a guy come to me on, like, 2.8 grams.
Remember that guy in Evo?
Yeah, guy in Evo came up to me. He was on 1.2 grams of test.
But he didn't even know.
Didn't know. It was, like, 600 milligrams of test sip, 600 milligrams of test ananthe, both one shot in each glute twice a week. So 600 milligrams, let's say it's like, that's 2 mil. So 2 mil twice a week in each glute. And he was like, "Can't walk." And I was like, "Of course you can't, mate. You just pinned 2 mil of gear. You've never done anything before. Like, why are you taking this much?" Yeah, first ever time. He was like 5 days into cycle. I was like, right, don't do that. So yeah, that was bad. But yeah, client wise, it was like 2.5 grams plus, which, to be fair, isn't actually, like, it's a lot, but it's not like, oh my god, a guy was running 3 grams of test and a gram of tren, and it was 2.5 grams. I think you're pushing the boundaries, but it's not like, it wasn't like I looked at it and thought, that's stupid. I'm also see stupid cycle design based off compound choice that's just really poor. Yeah. So like someone running like 700-800, 2 different forms of test, so like 700-800 EQ with like 400 tren, and then they're throwing anadrol, and it's like you literally trying to cook your insides with blood pressure. Like,
makes no sense.
Yeah, or like just putting in shit compounds like D-bol, and then they're fat.
D-bol.
And D-bol, just the basics. D-bol, test, D-bol. But when people it's probably not total milligrams, it's more so just poor compound choice. And like there's a lot of clients that will kind of hold a bit like almost a test to like the fact that like I'll say to them, right, let's not do that. And like I've got a guy who I've been coaching now for over a year, and one guy was like on EQ, like 600 EQ, 400 test, and like we've not gone past 500 milligrams, and he's like 20 kilos down. He's like probably 10 kilos up in muscle mass.
20 kilos down, he's lost all his muscle.
Yeah, lost all his muscle. No wonder.
Do you think it's like an ego thing though, where like lads are like, I'm taking this, and it needs to be the more the better.
Yeah. I don't know if it's ego.
A bit like how you are with food, and you're like, the more the better, but then you just never finish your meals anit
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
I didn't finish your meal the other night.
You didn't finish that either.
Mate, I left the bones of my chicken thighs.
Yeah, sort it out, mate. Sort it out. No, I think I say it's ego. I think it's lack of education, but then also a lot of people think, well, if 500 milligrams will maybe do it, why not 750? Why not? Like, what's the better? And like a lot of the times, like people are naive to sides, and it's like you'll be able to get away with running like 3-4 grams of gear if you do it for 6 months in a year, at that point. But you might not be able to get away with it in 5 years. You know, if you're just continuing to push and push and push,
get
and
away
push.
with it without realizing what's actually going on.
Yeah, because you can get away with it short term, but it's like long term. And then again, when you get sides, like I'd more so say I've had clients, probably not from cycle designs that I've done, but like they'll come to me with sides from previous coaches, or they've had bad experiences, and it's like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah, we always say this. Before, like people go like, mate, I'm getting acne, or like, you know, mate, like what's going on? Like, why am I experiencing, like, I'm getting gyno, I think, and it's like. Yeah. Well, yeah, like
Yeah, that
you have to understand that is something that you might experience.
You could have the perfect cycle design, you still get gyno. Like, look at, let's say, someone like Josh Bridgman. Like, he's not had it sliced out yet, but he was someone who didn't have gyno and has got it mildly, and he spoke about getting it sliced out. I don't know if he actually has had it sliced out. I don't know if he did. He might have, actually. But he was coached by Cal for like 5 years. He was enhanced, and then he was natty with Cal. Do you really think Cal's going to be saying to him, right, bro, gyno protocol, let's run this? No, you can do things in a really safe way, but unfortunately still run into sides. And when you say Cal, you almost have to go, right, cool. Yeah. This is the
cost that I was willing to accept by starting.
Yeah, exactly. Will Finn abandon me if I book an all-inclusive holiday soon?
Who's this, JP?
Yeah.
Why would I abandon it? Yes, mate, you're not allowed to live your life. You can't go on holiday.
You can go on holiday, JP, but basically, mate, stop eating like a bellend.
An all-inclusive would be fine if you don't eat a ridiculous amount. But he's gone past that point now. He's at that point, in off-season where it's like, right, you're just fat now.
Yeah.
So
doesn't
get
matter.
over it.
Yeah, like you gain 3 pounds and it's like there's no lines losing because you don't have them.
Yeah,
so it's fine.
We're kind of at that. But the thing is, he's got a lot of muscle, so he still looks good. Like he carries it well.
Yeah.
And his training's flying. Like his training's really good. So like I just say to him, like, mate, your training's flying. I'm happy as long as you're happy and you're enjoying your food.
And also, eventually, you will get to a point, like, no matter what, he'll get to a point where he probably will not want to eat that much food.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. But like
that
wants to be a long time away, and it would be sooner if you. But yeah, like that sort of the longevity of a gaining phase is going to be based on how well you manage it and how slowly you gain and how well you manage your food. But like, that's not to say you couldn't go on an all-inclusive. I went on an all-inclusive. What? How many weeks after it was Morocco? Like a month?
No,
a bit longer. Well, Vegas was 2 weeks. Vegas was 2 weeks after, and that was might as well have been an all-inclusive.
Yeah.
And then Morocco was another like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's difficult. Like definitely. Like I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, it's easy. Like I could have eaten a stupid amount. It wasn't just like, oh, I'll just eat what I fancy and I'll be fine. It was like, no, I have to be controlled, otherwise I'll be fucking ridiculously fat. Yeah. Like I could have easily been 30, 40 pounds up. Like it's not hard to have done.
I understand that. I think at times though, like again, that post-show management is just mental. Like
I
went to Lanzarote 4 weeks after. Me and Sinai both did. Sinai was 3 weeks. Like I was in Alicante. And because Sinai was still prepping, I was like, well, I'm not done. I'm not prepping. I'm only a few days after, but I don't need to go out for food just 'cause I'm not prepping or whatever. Like, I remember the day that Sinai finished prep, she made herself throw up through volume of food. We spoke about this on the podcast we did. And she was like eating like every 30, 40 minutes. And it's like, I think you get to a point and it's like, you just get a bit more mature and you know, like, okay, you can definitely eat, but then also you're not going to feel good for it. And food's always going to be there. And like with JP, like this again, I don't coach you, bro, so it's nothing personal. But from what I can tell, like obviously food signaling is good. You want to be hungry, but then also like there's plenty of times to have an extra square bar or to, let's say, have something else on top that you'll be able to work your food up eventually. And I would think, to me personally, if I was eating off plan, not constantly, but if I was gaining weight at a rapid level relative to what I would need, I'd almost be thinking, well, I'm going to gain this weight eventually. As long as I can train well, yes. But then also, I want to earn the right for food bump ups by actually being on plan.
Yeah, and that's the only thing. It's like anybody can gain weight and anybody can gain X amount of weight like per week or per month. But it's like, are you going to be in a position where your food is let's say, as high as possible in a gaining phase, and you're really going into your sessions fueling them as well as possible with good quality food as well, like
it's nutrients.
I
looked at I remember I was saying this to one of my clients post show, and I was like, you'll see, like, so last year for example I had 2 holidays after or 3 technically including Alicante within like the first 3 to 4 months post prep, and I gained minimal weight because I was on a cruise dose TRT. I gained like 5 kilos, and then bearing in mind I'm a lot heavier than like Finn and JP, so like my 5 kilos is probably more like Finn's or JP's like 3. So I gained like 5 kilos. That was from 95 to 100, and I sat at 100 kilos for like probably the best part of like 8 to 12 weeks, like for that 3-month period, while I got myself healthy. I got training performance in a good spot because I was absolutely smashed at the back end of prep. And then once I was like, right, my food was slowly worked up, I then was on 800, 900 carb, and it was like, right, foot on the gas. PDs obviously not involved for both of the people that I mentioned, but it was like PDs are back in. Now I can gain weight at a faster rate. And that's how I always operate it, where it's like after a long period of dieting, especially when it comes to a prep, I will be very cautious out the gate, and I'll be like, right, I'll work my food up, try not really eat off plan at all, keep everything really clean, and then when the time's right to push food, I can push food and I can gain weight in a way that, like, for example, I was at the back end of my like push up last year, bar the last like holding period, I was probably gaining a kilo every 7 to 10 days, where after prep I gained 5 kilos in 4 months. You know, like,
yeah.
so
I also think that's,
and that was from my lowest.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't think that's a good way of doing it. Really, like, I get like the initial 5 kilos,
yeah,
and then maybe holding or gaining
Yeah.
slowly. But I think the reason that you didn't gain as much was because you were ill in Alicante, and you always get ill after a prep.
true. But
I
then
think
also,
if you were fine, you'd be like, I gained the first 5 kilos, and then I just trickled up slowly.
yeah,
It wouldn't be like you then hold for no reason.
No. I wasn't intentionally holding, but I was like, I'm going to stay lean. I've got holidays. I don't need to really be pushing up. I was like, I don't really need to, like, especially with PEDs, if you're on a cruise dose and you've gone from, let's say, a prep sort of blast, you're going to respond well just based off getting training performance in a good spot. There's no benefit. Like, I looked at it and I remember like kind of mapping it out, and I was like, if I start my push any heavier than like 103, 104 kilos, that's just going to put me in a position where I'm going to get to my peak at like 120 to 125, and for a 20-week push, that's going to be more than a kilo a week, and it would just get to a point where I would end up like probably not being able to actually push hard for when I needed to, relative to kind of time frame. So I was like, right, I'll hold, relatively speaking, and I felt pretty sound. Like, this was after like the first 8 weeks, stress dropped off. I felt pretty good, and I maintain quite a lean spot.
I'd
if
say
I'm
that
not
is
pushing
one thing
food.
that is different for, like, especially within gaining phases for naturals versus enhanced athletes. Like, for you, you'll have a shorter, more aggressive push up because of the use of anabolics and the blast that you can do.
Yeah.
Whereas for a natural, I'd be looking at a longer, less aggressive rate of gain because you're not going to be able to use those anabolics and drive that faster rate of gain and that faster rate of like adding tissue.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, you almost want to obviously post show put that initial weight on, which Jack did, and then just trickle up slowly from there. So like,
where with PEDs, it's more like you put your foot on the gas for a bit, you take your foot off the gas, you hold, then it's like foot blast, like flat on the gas.
You can
like,
really make a lot of progress in a short period.
Like
Whereas
this,
for a natty, it's almost just like gaining phases are very boring.
Yeah.
That's why people like get fed up of them and they want to diet and they want to change things. And it's like, you're going to make the most progress as a natural bodybuilder just spending years in a gaining phase, years doing the same thing, week after week, session after session. Like, if I look back to that sort of 3 year off season that I have or had, it went really quick. But like looking back, like I literally just did the same thing. I gained for the whole time, and I just did the same thing.
You did a pre-prep diet in the period.
But pretty much like gained for the whole time apart from a pre-prep before the prep.
No, it was like 70 weeks, 80 weeks massing, and then
and like just literally
messing, bro.
Just literally focused on making sure that scale weight's going up, eating plenty of food, enjoying training, getting strong. Do that for 3-4 years, like or 2-3 years, however many years, like
where
if Jack can do that without needing to necessarily pull back, then great.
But something I spoke about with Jacob yesterday about dieting. So Jacob, be modified owner, stop eating off plan, fat bastard. Like, he was 4 weeks into a push, and obviously PDs were involved. Believe it or not, Jacob is not a natural athlete. We thought he was. He's not. He's not. I thought he was. So yeah, if PDs are not involved. But with Jacob they were. He ended up pulling back his food after 4 weeks of pushing up, and I said to him straight up, you need to stop eating off plan.
Jack would never do that, to be fair.
JP would be able to eat. But in any gaining phase, and it's different person to person, genetic kind of composition, mentally, every person has like a certain amount of tools that they can, or not even tools, it's like almost like a plaster that you can just plaster over a bit of a fuck up. Every time that you have a shit meal, an off plan meal, a whatever, like let's say you cram 2 meals together, you're stressed when you're eating, you have like maybe 3 meals in one, or you have a bad bout of digestion. Every single gaining phase, you have a certain amount of strikes. And eventually, once those strikes are out, you're out. The gaining phase is not productive. And I think now, again, you see, like, I said to Jacob, I was like, you need to stop eating off plan. And he was like, bro, you're right. Like, I've been, like, I said to him, what has your food been like? And he's like, well, like, I'll be waking up a bit later because I've been tired and I've been cramming 2 meals in. And then, like, I'll be sitting, watching the TV with Mel. And, like, and then in the evening, I'll just go grab some, like, easy snacks.
You almost
and it's
forget
like
that people are like that. Because I would say 95% of my clients aren't like that.
I'd say the same.
A few, but like, so you almost forget that people do that. It's just like, oh yeah, my meal timings have been shit, and yeah, I've just been snacking on whatever I fancy. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
no wonder you're feeling shit.
Well, no
or
wonder you
struggling to
can't
progress.
push up food for a certain period of time. Like for me, for example, in this gaining phase, I looked at my calendar. I was like, I've been pushing up peds now for like 6 weeks. I was like, shit, I need to get a move on. I've only got 20 weeks here, like 14 more weeks. I was like, I need to get to like 125 plus. But then, additionally to that, it's not scale weight building; it's bodybuilding. But also, there's that degree where it's like food should be utilized as a tool for fuel, and you should look upon it as nutrient quality. And someone like JP or people in general, don't just be viewing food. Like if you're going away, mate, go away, have an all-inclusive. Just don't eat like a fucking idiot. Keep your steps up, get plenty of fluid, still train over there or have a deload, whatever's best, but just make sure you're eating to your actual calorie needs and not thinking, I'm an all-inclusive, I'm just going to fucking eat crap. Yeah. And also, I will say, considering we've gone to all-inclusive, so like when we went to Vegas, if you eat a heavy meal, when we had that barbecue Korean food, which was bagging, that we ate that at like 3 p.m. I think we went out for dinner and we were like, oh, don't want to eat.
Yeah,
and that was 3 p.m.
Did we?
That was 3 p.m. Like, well, it might have been earlier than that. It might have been 2 p.m. Yeah. So if you're going to an all-inclusive, the likelihood is you're going to overeat on one meal. You're then not going to be able to eat for the rest of the day. You won't want to eat protein.
Like, the quality.
You're going to feel naff.
Like when I was in Morocco, like I'd make the bulk of my dish was based on protein and veg and salad, and then like the extra like carbs and fats would come from maybe getting like a little bit of, let's say, potato or rice or something, and then maybe getting like a bit of a dessert. Like that's kind of where I wouldn't pile up the plate with potato, chips, rice.
No.
This.
I limited myself when I was in Lanzarote. I only had carbs on first meal when I was training, so the days I trained. And then when I wasn't training, it was just fats and protein.
The thing is, you can still have really nice meals.
I only had one carb source.
If you're at like a nice restaurant or nice hotel, you can have like really nice, just like protein and veg meals. Yeah,
I only had one carb source per meal, and then in the evenings I had two if we went out for dinner, and it was like two of like if we went out for like an Indian, I'd get rice and naan, something like that, you know. So,
right, last question for me. Well, actually, I've got two more. Jack CrossFit off-season lifting goals, numbers you would like to hit / surpass. Let's do 2 each based on what we already have in our program.
Okay. Well, for me, hinge, I'm gonna pull 8 plates. That'll be the goal. And I will do. I could have definitely done before my CNS and everything died. And I almost fucking killed myself doing deadlifts. So yeah, 8 plate dead for a couple. That'd be good. Other than that, not really sure. Probably like, I feel like I'm at the point now, strength wise, where it's like everything's like, I could move really any load I want, but it's just like, am I actually getting quality out of it?
1,000 kilos on a deadlift.
I can't do 1,000
kilos. Exactly. So you can't do 400 kilos on a flat bench.
Most movements I have.
Stop having a massive ego.
No, it's not a massive ego.
Drop it down a little bit.
No, think about all the movements.
Back on the ground.
Think about all the movements we do.
Put your feet on the floor.
Okay.
Ground yourself. Okay. Right, now give us a real answer. Don't say I could do anything in the world, because you couldn't.
Okay. Bicep curl the 25s.
Okay, there we go.
And get appreciation and respect off my family.
For execution.
Yeah, for execution.
Yeah, mine is to have a really well executed lat pull around.
Okay. No, I mean, when I say that, I mean it's more so I could shift weight just by thinking I'm going to just shift more weight. Like, I could easily bent row 220 and it'd be awful. But again, I think I'd like a 5 plate.
180 and it's awful.
No, 180 was sound. The 200 was a bit naff. 220, 5 plate row would be cool. 340 dead, which I'll be able to do soon. I'd probably be able to do it now, but I'd want to like prime myself to it. And then other than that, like the other movements, the reason why I said it, the other movements, I'm like, squat press, I could do whatever I can. I think if I was to get like 12 plus plates with the real low feet position, that'd be quite cool. Like really low, like maximal knee flexion, that'd be cool. The gymnaco press, I've got max load on the top and the bottom pen. If you do that as well, feels awful. The other stuff in that session's isolations. My pressing work is annoyingly not as good as it used to be, but I've got a better chest and delts because of proper execution. But again, like I look at that and think I wouldn't want to be like saying I'm going to press 5 plates.
Shouldn't be a target.
Like, because my shoulder will just tell me to piss off.
Clients, like it's on movements that I know they can do safely, that they connect well with. I'm not setting targets on like lateral raises or bicep curls.
You don't. I want to curl 25s, bro,
and
then get appreciation off my family for a good execution.
All right, Monday, deficit row. 3 plates.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I'd be happy with that.
T-bar, 7 for me, I'd say. 7, 8. I did 5.
Yeah, we've only just done that though, haven't we? So I wouldn't really class that, because we might not even keep that in. See how it is. I'm thinking like the main movements from each session. So today, the Atlantis incline press.
I got 8, so I can't go more than that. They have to get 25s. Please get 25s.
I would say... I mean, 8 plates would be pretty cool for me to be able to do that.
Yeah.
6 plates at the minute for a good 5 today. So yeah, 8 plates on that would be a bit silly, I guess. I don't think I've seen any natties doing anywhere close to that. I've seen natties do like 5, 6.
Storm, he did 8.
Storm's natty.
Yeah, Storm's natty.
Of course he's not natty, he's called Storm.
Yeah.
Imagine being called Storm.
His test was like 100 nanomole naturally.
Even if he was natty, yeah. As soon as out of the womb,
imagine,
we call him Storm.
Especially Storm, but he was like 60 kilos. You'd be like, why are you called Storm?
If he was called Storm and he was 60 kilos, he'd have long silver hair covering his eye, and he'd wear like black clothes all the time with his hood up.
Yeah, and he'd be on like the sex list register, like
sex offenders list. Yeah.
Has to knock on everyone's door. I'm Storm. Just thought I'd let you know. When he moves into
I'm
a sex offender. I don't do it now.
All right, Wednesday.
You're not my type.
Squat press. I'd be happy with 10 plates with the new setup that I have for like a good like 10 plus.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, I'm still like playing around with the second compound. Booty builder, stack for like 15 to 20 would be good.
That's me. Booty builder goals.
It's a good machine.
Booty builder.
I like it.
Booty builder, 10 plates, 20 builder stack.
It's not the plated version. Friday, we said we were going to do 2 each. Right, I need to go. Friday, what do we have on a Friday?
T-bar.
I don't at the minute.
I did the
have the hammer strength low row.
Did the worst set of 7 plates on that. Got
what on the what?
Oh yeah, we weren't there. So I got 3 reps, and I gave me 2. It was a 1 rep max. It was bad. It was bad. But it was a second set, so you know the yeah buddy set. So you get 1 good set, then you go for a yeah buddy, and then you go. Yeah, so I still had 2 good sets, but 1 awful set, so bad. I showed Gulliver on his checking because he did a really bad set on something. I was like, look, bro, this is way worse. I showed him the corner, and he was like, yeah, bro, way worse. Thanks for doing that. Right, if you hadn't jumped on PDs, would you have stayed in men's physique? If so, how you think you'd do? Butcher's wet dream. I'd probably say so. I almost in a way wish that I would have competed as a junior, but I wouldn't have. I would have been I jumped on 22. So yeah, I would have liked to have, but I wouldn't have. It's one of those. I would like to have, but I know where my goals were, and I knew like where my potential would be within just bodybuilding in general. I would probably say men's physique. I don't think I would. I'm too wide and I'm structurally not. I wouldn't have been a good natural bodybuilder, I don't think. I would have been good natural physique, but I probably would have had the same shortcomings in regards to like my back and how things were when it comes to development. But also, I think if you were to have looked at me, I was definitely a lot more men's physique when I was younger, just based off. I've always had good delts. I was a lot more. I was just skinnier in general. So it's just when you have less muscle.
A massive waist back then.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's not waist. It's just more so you bulk yourself up. Like you just add systemic size, and like it's one of those where, like, for example, even just like my lower back thickness and like intercostals. If you were to look at like if I had measured my waist from 2021 to 2023, there's no growth. It's just more meat. So it's
quadrupled
like
into.
Yeah, quadrupled. I kept doing loads of growth hormone just into my hips, and everything just started expanding.
Weird.
No, it would also be like when you turn and you do like, let's say, a men's physique side shot. When you're skinny and you're 70 kilos, like 80 kilos like I was when I was like 19, like there's not much meat there. So you look lean, tapered, where when you have a good amount of just general systemic mass, you just look bigger and bulky. And then also at the same time when it comes to like legs, how they fit in shorts. So yeah, I don't think I would have done bodybuilding. I don't think it would have been like, I think I probably would be a better classic natural bodybuilder than anything, if I'm honest. That was probably my calling. So yeah, what do you think?
I think you just stayed in physique.
Yeah, I don't think I would have. My structure's, I'm too wide to have filled it out naturally. Even now I'm struggling. So
have you got any more?
Yeah, I got one more.
I've got one. What's worse in an off season, the constant chafe/waddle, or the difficulty wiping your ass? JP.
I've never struggled to wipe my ass.
Because you're too small.
Need more food, JP. Yeah. JP, Sanaya, you want to go out for an off-plan meal? Yeah, clearly. Massaman curry. Do we get some Massaman curry? I'm not going to go into detail.
I would say, to be fair, I wouldn't say I struggle to shave my ass, to wipe my ass, but I get what you're saying. It's harder when you're bigger. But yeah, the waddle. But I guess I haven't got big enough adductors to. I guess when I was fat, I did used to chafe, but wasn't like, oh my god, it's so bad.
Yeah, I'd say the worst for me is feet. Like my feet are so bad. Yeah. Like I can't wear the same pair of shoes 2 days in a row if I've done more than like 10, 11,000 steps. My feet get absolutely battered. Like by the back end of like Vegas, every single step was excruciating, like so bad. I had to like numb in my head to turn the pain off. It was that bad. And I'm not sounding dramatic there. Like, it was so bad. So yeah, when I was in New York, I was like sliders for one night. I was like walking to nice restaurants in sliders, but dressed up like I was like going like out to a nice place. And it was like, yeah, my feet are fucked. So yeah, that if I was to wear one. Was it wear one? Was it? No, so that was to pick one. That's the worst for me, off-season wise. So, yeah. And then final question for me. Any advice for new in-person PTs, just starting out? I feel like the industry has a bad reputation.
Create content.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of PTs don't do that. I'd also like try and coach your clients online as well as in person. So like get them doing check-ins, get them sending photos, get them tracking their food and their other training sessions. And then when you see them in person, you can have like an in-person check-in and a session, or 2 or 3 a week, however many you do. Be yourself, be personable, smile on the gym floor, help people on the gym floor, but also don't be that arsehole that's trying to give everybody advice, unsolicited advice. Like, just be there and available. And yeah, like we said, be professional. Don't be that PT who's like a sleazy PT trying to flirt with all the girls. Like, just
that's what I thought you do.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's
how you got. Was Shannon a member of the gym when you PT'd there?
Yeah, but I didn't PT Shannon.
But did you approach her when on shift?
No.
Did you follow her on Instagram when you saw her on shift?
She followed me. She'd already followed me.
Oh, okay.
So then I knew I was in.
Fair enough.
And then I just like,
yeah,
talk to me.
No, when she was at the gym, you're like raving across when you were with PTs.
I feel like I was very. For my age, I feel like I handled that situation very well.
What do you mean?
Like, I was very calm, because I remember thinking, like, she's ridiculous. Like, in the gym when she used to walk in her heels, like, from work, and all the lads would be like, and like, she was known for being like that girl who had a really good ass in the gym.
Yeah.
And like,
I thought you'd be known for being a massive slut.
She was known as that girl that just sucked cock.
Yeah. So I was like, can I get next in line? Can I get next in line? I've heard he's had it. It's really good. Can I get next in line, please, Shannon?
I was like really professional with it, like, and quite calm. You know, as a young lad, like a lot of young lads at that age would have been like, oh yeah, like she's fit. Yeah. But I was like, I feel like I almost knew. Like, it was weird. Like, I almost knew that it was going to be like a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, nailed it, didn't I?
Nailed it.
Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's that. Yeah, sound. Guys, please. We are currently on 693 Instagram followers. We are on 872 Spotify reviews. Is it reviews or is that followers?
That's Spotify followers. I'm going to get up the reviews.
Yes, we're going to get the ratings up. And then we are on 672 subscribers on YouTube. So we like the 7 and the 2s. We've got 8, 7 and 6, 7. So
378 reviews on 5 Spotify.
Stars.
If we can get that up to 400, that would be massively appreciated.
Basically, guys, if you've got to this part of the podcast, please, like, we've given you a good amount of content. We are doing this on a Tuesday night. It is late. It's post-workout. Finn has to get back. It's been a long day. So if you can give us a like, comment, subscribe, follow on the appropriate social media platforms. The links are in the descriptions. And while you're there, apply for coaching off both of us.
Make sure you apply for coaching.
Applications today. I have. They're all awful. I sent them to Josh. Josh has messaged me saying, like, how's this one? And he was like, he's put like 780 as well. I'm like, yep, 780 as well, please, mate. Like, you do that one, I'll do this one, and you do that one. So yeah, the applications, if you're good and you want coaching and you actually like have some potential, apply with either me or Finn. That'd be great.
And also, if you're not good, don't feel like you can't apply.
Yeah, 100% apply. Just apply with Josh or Noah. Our co-coaches, we're joking. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Battery's about to die. Catch you guys in the next episode. See you later.